This podcast is brought to you by the following sponsors. Your San Diego County Toyota dealers. We've got what it takes. Fix Auto. Corky's Pest Control. And Lolita's Family of Restaurants.
Hello, sports fans. Welcome to another edition of Laxcast. I am Christian Pedersen. This is Coach Tom DeMeo, and I have the pleasure of telling you that it is now time for the Open Division Finals. And seemingly just like how you would draw it up, Poway and Tori are meeting. Like, awesome. Like, how does that happen? If you had said that to me at the beginning of the year, I'd be like, oh, haha, Poway, Tori, like, I get it, them or LCC. But no, it's happening. It's really happening. Let's talk a little bit about how we got here, because we have not met up with you guys since before the playoffs started. Torrey Pines, to get to the finals, they beat Mission Hills by a rather large margin. Then they played LCC and they beat them. La Costa Canyon to get here. They took down Cathedral Catholic in a very tight game and then fell to Torrey Pines. Flip side of the bracket, Poway, Coronado. Poway got a big win. Coronado, though, we had kind of talked about who is this team all season long. There's a little bit of an identity. Is it younger? Is it older? They're kind of turning that corner. They got it around. To get to Open, some of the young showed a little bit of talent, still struggled a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, Poway was just more experienced. They had more skill, and like you said, there was some spurts of 4 or 5 goal runs for Coronado. But I think you know, watching that game, we watched it together, and I think when you looked at it, you saw that Poway was probably going to be the team that faced Torrey in the finals, and that, you know, ultimately.
We were actually in the press booth taking bets on what the temperature was, because neither of us we've both grown very accustomed to the West Coast. Other side of Poway's bracket, they played La Jolla, who beat Scripps Ranch. I want to give a quick shout out to Scripps Ranch for being the kind of the same team as Coronado in terms of, we had some questions. Who are they going to be? Are they going to be an Open Div, a D1 team? They played La Jolla very close into the second. Then the game after that, Poway, to get to the finals, takes down La Jolla 11-10 in overtime. What does that say to you about both those teams? Because we talked a whole bunch about La Jolla. For them, they're a young team, only starting one senior. So we were talking more about 2018, 2019 with them, and then Poway. How much resilience do they have for that kind of a win?
I think it says a lot about both teams. I think, you know, when you have a young team, and not that Poway is an older team, but they do have a couple stars that are seniors, and they have a bunch of people that can score. This is what I saw. And, you know, but to be able to come out and get that overtime win, you know, in a high-scoring game, that's going to poise you better for the finals. And if they can keep it close, at least, or say it goes in overtime, at least they've been there and they know what the pressure is, and that is always helpful.
I'm just thinking about Poway Torrey going into OT for the finals, and just that's a Disney movie. That's one feel-good story away from being an Oscar-winning movie. So the finals, Coach, Torrey Pines, Poway. This game is played against, you know, Torrey being the #1 team, kind of wire to wire this year. They weren't really challenged very much. Poway, a little bit, maybe in that 3 to 5 kind of range right off the bat, but then they climbed up. Break it down for me.
Yeah, I mean, I think Torrey, the way they move the ball up the field and the way they create transition and score in transition is difficult to match, and I think Poway's going to have trouble matching that. I think Poway has some similar players that can score, but I do think, you know, whenever it's an uneven advantage, a transition, Poway is going to be hard to stop, and the question is going to be, can Poway really keep them from getting transition? Because when Torrey gets transition, they score. They have a big group of girls that can all put the ball in the net and get up and down the field. So I think that you know, ultimately Poway has to scheme to stop that. And then, you know, besides that, Poway can score. They've showed that, but they got to stop Torrey's transition game.
Do you stop that by just holding on to the ball? Do you stop that by a certain defensive scheme? Do you just stop that by, when they go to do the face-off at the beginning, just pushing the girl over, grabbing the ball, and running away with it and taking it home?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of it starts in the offensive end when you have the ball, and it's, you know, if you turn the ball over or if their goalie makes a save, you got to be getting back and back to the hole or back on the other side of the field to make sure that whatever situation arises, they don't have odd numbers. But yeah, I mean, I've always believed that the offense can either give up transition or defend transition by, when you do have a turnover, it being maybe a smart turnover or a shot on net or something maybe behind the net when you play teams like that.
So if you're game planning for Poway, you're not slowing down. You're not saying we're going to drag this one out. You're saying let's play our game as aggressively and fast-paced as we can, and let's not back away from this opportunity.
Absolutely. I think that's how both teams are going to play it.
You're insane for thinking that. I would be holding onto the ball and going, oh, we're going to draw this one out, and we're going to try and take one shot every 22 minutes and force the refs to be blowing us in, whistling, go, shoot the ball.
You might say that, but at the same time, Poway has girls that can score. And so they're going to want to score, and they're going to want to have that tempo. But the key is when they don't score is that they're defending the transition on the other end.
Absolutely. This is going to, you mentioned some of the girls that they have to score. This is going to be the last game at the high school level for a lot of stars who are going on to play at SDSU, at Stanford, at all sorts of schools all over the country. So this is a great game to watch because this is a future star. You could very well call this an all-star game.
Yeah. So, I mean, almost all the girls that are starting this game are going to play college lacrosse at some point, and some local, and so, it'll be interesting to see how they succeed at the next level.
So this game will be 5 p.m. San Diego High School this Saturday. Definitely come check it out. I will be there. He will be. You got a game on Saturday? You got a game on Saturday, right?
The Coronado
guys game.
Boys game.
Very nice. He'll be providing coverage of that, and I'll be there to recap it, and we'll be back with the victory parade for one of these teams. we'll be riding in the confetti, waving, and all that. Thank you very much for a fun season with you, sports fans, and we will see you in a little bit.